US, where there's been much talk lately about the economy recovering. This 6 years after the subprime mortgage meltdown and subsequent financial crisis. At the weekend, President Barack Obama pointed out that American businesses have created some 7 million jobs over the last 3 years. The housing market is coming back and the stock market has rebounded. The situation certainly has improved, especially in comparison with Europe's troubles, but many Americans are getting left behind. And as our correspondent Philip Crowther reports, recovery is slow.
The signs are back up, for sale and under contract, a US housing market that's on the up, with the biggest increase in prices in almost 7 years. But this time, says this real estate agent, off the back of a $590,000 sale, there is no subprime mortgage crisis to come, there's no bubble to be burst.
10 years ago, 8 years ago, if you had a vertical posture and a pulse, you could get a loan with 0% down. That was craziness.
This house was resold by an investor. They are making their mark again on this market.
So this house is under contract. She built a wine cellar.
Annual increases in house prices have gone up by over 20%. That's in the areas hit the hardest during the big crisis of 2008.
If you come around this way, you'll see our electrician is heavying up the whole system. You'll see a brand new bathroom.
And when the housing market goes up, so does the whole economy, in theory at least.
You can just see in terms of what went into this house. So many contractors were employed, landscape people were employed, electricians have been employed. New appliances were purchased, all new windows. When real estate is moving, two things happen. More people have jobs because of the trickle-down effect. And also, when people own a home and they see the home increasing in value, they feel wealthier. So there's a picture of the original
confidence
kitchen.
That all-important economic indicator is on the up in the housing market and tentatively also in the US economy as a whole.
We're also seeing new construction start up again. That's another area which is very important. Where there had not been new construction, new homes being built, the big commercial investors, the builders, are back in the market getting permits and building whole new sections of homes.
There are more figures that lead to optimism. The unemployment rate has fallen to a 4-year low. This is, in part, though, because of a harsh underlying reality. Many are giving up looking for work altogether. Generally, though, this sentence can be uttered these days. The unemployment situation in the United States is improving. In most sectors, though, it is a sluggish recovery. Gross domestic product is rising slowly, and that includes a pickup in consumer spending. Now the government's eyes are turning toward manufacturing, which slipped to a 7-month low in May. Some companies are showing the way, and they are catching the eye of the White House. US President Barack Obama visited Ellicott Dredges in Baltimore recently, a manufacturing company that's doing well and hiring. Its line of work, US-made dredges that remove sand, for example, for the construction of canals.
It turns and it removes the material from the bottom of the waterway. I'll be happy to show you.
Peter Bowie, the president, gives us the tour.
That will receive the shaft.
The vessels built here are exported worldwide, and the company is doing well.
We are creating jobs, and we have made a lot of investments. Here in Baltimore, we're buying new machine tools. We put in new cranes. We're in heavy manufacturing. Manufacturing is growing in the States. We have the advantage here now in the States of lower energy costs, for example, than in Europe. And that is propelling some economic activity in manufacturing that's been good for the economy overall.
The economic horizon for the United States isn't perfectly bright, though, just yet. This is, after all, a country with a gigantic deficit, and one that knows a recession elsewhere can send it over the brink again.
We have to be optimistic but cautiously so, because there are lots of problems on the horizon, whether it's the debt problem in the U.S. or the slowdown in Europe, and what happens with interest rates, what happens with currencies. So all those things affect what we do and how we're doing it.
That's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of data that needs to be just right to keep things stable. But when the US looks toward Europe and its current troubles, a tentative recovery, well, that will sound just fine.
You're watching live from Paris. It's time now for sports.